Happy Pi Day, everybody! Alright, so if you don't know why it's Pi Day, it is March 14th, so that is 3.14. And 3.14 is pi. It's a mathematical equation. We haven't really used it since middle or high school when we were doing algebra. I don't even remember why we used pi, honestly. It's kind of embarrassing. But our teacher said, you're going to use this when you're older. And we were like, yeah, right. Well, guess what? It's Pi Day. They weren't wrong. We're using it. So we are going to make blueberry pie today. It is super easy. It is probably the best blueberry pie recipe I've ever found. I don't remember where I found it exactly, but I've had it for a couple years now and I just keep using it. It's a no-bake blueberry pie, so you bake the crust first and then we make the filling on the stovetop and just pour it in and refrigerate it. Super easy. I'm going to show you how it's done step by step. It honestly takes about like 5 minutes to make, so not that hard. Here we go. Okay, so this is all the ingredients that we need right here. So we have 3/4 of a cup of sugar. We're going to need a tablespoon of lemon juice, a pinch of salt, 1/4 cup of water, tablespoon of butter, and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Also, we are going to need 5 cups of blueberries. This is 6 right here, but I'm just going to not use 1 cup and eat them for myself. Yay! So this is how you cook it. So we are starting by putting the 1/4 cup of water, 3/4 cups of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch into a pot. And we are going to mix it all together until it becomes smooth. I forgot this is also when we're going to add our pinch of salt. There it is, pinch of salt. So we have all this in here. We're just going to mix it all together until all the lumps are gone. Alright, now that the mixture is all nice and smooth, we are going to add 3 cups of blueberries. And we are going to just stir this until it comes to a boil. And then we are going to remove it from the heat. I will see you when we are nice and bubbly. It should only take a couple minutes. Alright, so we're about halfway there. You can see that we started to simmer now and the blueberries are starting to pop. So all that nice purple juice is coming out, starting to mix with the cornstarch and the sugar and everything. And the cornstarch is going to help it stay nice and thick, so it's not just this blueberry water mixture. This stuff, it honestly is more like a jelly, which is awesome when you're making pie because you don't want just blue liquid running all over your plate. So once this sets in the fridge and you cut into it, it's just like a perfect slice. It's really awesome. We are going to add our tablespoon of lemon juice, 2 more cups of blueberries, and 1 tablespoon of butter. And we are going to just mix all of this until the butter melts. And see, this way you've got some blueberry jelly type stuff, and then there's also like whole blueberries in it, so it's got a nice texture. It's a nice mix of different levels of blueberry. You have some cooked and some not so cooked. Just gonna stir it. Ooh, see, it's so thick it's moving the pot while I stir. Want the butter to melt. And then once everything is all mixed up, we are going to let it cool, and then we are going to put it in our already cooked pie shells, and we're just going to let it set in the fridge, or just dig into it right then and there, put some ice cream on top of it. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so we're making lots of pie. We have 2 different kinds of crust. The first is just a frozen pie crust that's already made. We're going to cook that in the oven at 400 degrees for about 12 minutes until it's all crusty. I've already poked holes in it with a fork so the crust doesn't rise. And then I'm also going to make some mini pies. And for this I have just taken a rollout pie crust, and I took the lid of a mason jar and I just boop 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 went around, made the holes, and then I flipped a muffin pan over and put the crust on top of it. At first I had it on the inside, but then I figured that's going to be really hard to get up, so I put it on the outside. That way I can just pop right off. Because this is a no-bake pie, it's just pour in the filling once the filling is all done cooking, which is perfect. Okay, so since this is a no-bake pie, I'm going to bake the top crust separately and then just put it on top afterwards. And I've taken just a roll-out pie crust and a pizza cutter and just went right down. Tried to make the even strips, but nobody's perfect. So then what you do is you just kind of take them all apart. You can just lay them on top of each other like this, just to get an idea of what you're going. This is called a lattice, I think. It could be lattice, but that doesn't sound as nice, so I'm going with lattice. I never heard anyone say it out loud before, but it's L-A-T-T-I-C-E, lattice. Pretty sure it's lattice. Alright, so we're just going to start off like that, so you just kind of have an idea of what we're going to look like. Yeah, okay. So then we're going to take them away so we know how many we have. And we are going to start folding them under and over. So normally this is something you just do on top of the pie, but we don't have a top of a pie right now, so we're doing it. And then the next layer, it's going to go under this one. And over, and under, and over, and you guessed it, under. There it is. We're just going to do this all the way down the line until we have a nice crisscross pattern. Alright, now that our lattice is all done, I'm going to take another pie shell and put it right on top here. This is an old pie shell, just use it to make other pie crust on top. That's why I got that greasy layer. It's okay. And then we're just going to cut all the way around it so that it's the perfect size to fit on top of the pie once it's done. Alrighty, now all the pie crusts are out and ready to be baked. I'm actually going to put an egg wash on them first. That way they get nice and shiny. And I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar just to make it even more shiny, because why not? Alrighty, so we have put the filling into the pie. It is all nice and cooled. Haven't put it in the fridge yet, but that is because I also have the crust that we made. It is just out of the oven. It's still a little warm, but I'm going to risk getting burned. We're just going to ever so gently place it on top of the pie. Wow, it's a perfect fit. That's crazy. It's pretty insane. So, yeah, super easy. And that's our pie. Look at that. It's made out of 3 different pieces. Solid crust, blueberry goo, and pie crust on top. And happy pie to everybody.